Hello everyone, this is Chronicle. I'm going to show some of the dark ranking units that I usually use. Okay, let's go. This is the first unit I'm going to show is this Dios. Well, his ranking is something like this. And then he got 3 jobs of Dark Knight. One is the Dark Clover Enchant, and one is the Dark Knight Plus, and last one is the third job, and it's called Shikoku no Seikyo Kishi. Well, it's a Darkness of Holy Knight, something like that, or Holy Knight of Darkness, either way. Then his gates, I managed to max this much, but if you want to use him, you can master these 2 gates because it further increases the physical and dex so that his overall attack power maybe can reach 19 something, and the HP maybe 76 or 77 something, either way. And then compared to this third job and this second job, even with the gear, but it's still a big difference between this and this. Some more, he's a free unit you can get from the chapter 1, and he's the MC, so everybody can get him. And the best part is, he doesn't have any much weakness for the ability set and the passive everything, but the only thing is about the passive. As you can see, I never equip with the second gate passive because this second gate passive is only increase a bit physical and HP, but this new third job, he doesn't need this HP reduction for the HP cost because all of his job doesn't have any HP cost, so this passive become quite useless. So this second gate will not be the top priority to master. You might as well master the other gate first, unless you have got enough of the shards. And then the reaction skill is so good, even though it's only for the 1 turn, but he have this all attack up and critical rate up and can be stacked 3 times. So his overall attack actually is quite high, especially for the skill attack. This reaction skill is only just getting any damage, so it's very easy to activate, but beware that his defense actually not that high, HP okay, so he may die easily if the opponent damage is very high, unless you have the HP reject armor to recover his HP every turn. And then he got some attack buff like this one, increase the speed critical damage up, is quite good. And then for the side ability, this one, increase the attack speed, critical and accuracy. Some more immune to the knockdown and stop status, so it's quite good. And some more he have the guts, so that he can survive any attacks for just 1 time. So basically, as a free unit, he have many types of attack and buff, everything. And this last skill, the damage is also very high. Not only the damage is very high, but also have the property of critical and permanent increase the slash. So it's very good to use this skill from the start. And then for the gear and mementos, well, he have the free mementos you can get from the, I think, April Fool event. Anyway, this is his little sister, but I think she already passed away due to the wars or what. But this memento skill is very good for him overall, and everybody can get it. And then for the gear, well, just equip anything that's increase his attack, HP, and speed, and critical. So that's all about Dios. Okay, next is this Anastasia. Her ranking is something like this. Well, she have this Dark Knight Job Plus and Dark Clover Enchant and Machinery Enchant, but most of the time you'll be using this job, of course. And then her Kaigan, well, I managed to max this much. Her leader skill actually quite good if you really want to use her. Not only increase the HP and physical attack, you also increase all defense 10%. And most of the dark unit, especially the Dark Knight, don't have any defense, so you can use this leader to increase their defense. And then you might as well master this 4th and 6th gate to increase the attack and HP. And then for her ability, well, she don't have any much of the reaction skill, so this will be the best for her since it reduces any type of attack, but it's a property, so be careful. And then, because the other reaction skill is really very useless, there's no changes for this Dark Knight counter attack, so this will be the best for her. And then for the passive, well, I think these 2 will be the best if you really want to increase her attack a lot. And this one is the second second gate passive upgrade, it is basically an overdrive and add extra HP up. So it's good to master the second gate to increase her HP. And then, if you want to increase her speed, you can equip this overdrive with this booster +2 so that her speed will be super high. But her physical attack will be somewhere like this, but it's still high enough. And then, since her overall speed is this high, she can move quite fast. If not, if you want to increase just her attack, this will be the best, of course. The speed actually is not so bad anyway. And then her master ability also very good. It increases the HP, evasion, speed, and initial jewel. But best is this one. All of her physical buff enhanced. Means any physical buff, like example, this second skill is the 5th gate upgrade. It permanently increases her physical attack and there's no limit to the stacking. So you can use this 7 times to increase her P attack times 7. And then with the master ability, her physical attack increase some bit so that the maximum of this P attack increase is a lot. Seriously. But you need to use this 7 times. It's really a lot. And she doesn't have any much skill changes beside this and this one. This skill can be quite hard to use because she have the berserk status after this skill, but during the berserk status, she will have the move +3 and all status resistant up. So it's not really that bad. And it also permanently increase the physical and magic attack, but beware. This physical attack and this physical attack cannot be stacked. So if you use this skill 7 times, this one will be useless. And then her side ability, well, there's not much changes as well. Besides this last skill, is a newly added skill. It deals the opponent maximum HP. So if the opponent maximum HP is maybe 20k, you can reduce their maximum HP so that if they recover their HP, they will not recover to their fullest. And if the opponent has the HP regen, it also reduces the HP regen amount. So it's really quite good for some stages. And nothing much. And for the mementos and gear, well, if you have the 6th gate master, these two will be the best. But of course, if you never master the 6th gate, this will be the best for her. Well, increase a lot of the group skill and the visual ability. And then, if you get this sword, this gear, this is one of the best sword ever for the Dark Knight. All of the Dark Knight can be used, as well as this weapon ability, everybody can use. So this is one of the good sword that you can get a lot, and it also increase a lot of P attack. And very good on dark units. There's a lot of dark units that's using great sword. Okay, and the other gear, basically you can equip anything that's increase her HP and speed will be good enough. Since this one is increase a lot of P attack. Unless you don't have this sword, you can equip with any sword that's increase the P attack. So I guess that's all about her. Okay, next is this Rosa. Her ranking is something like this. Okay, she have this Dark Knight Job Plus and Dragon Cabra Enchant plus Ninja Enchant, but most of the time we'll be using this job, of course. And for the Kai Gun, I managed to max this much. And for the leader skill, well, it's not so bad leader skill. Increase the all attack 20% and defense 20%. So most of the dark unit, especially the Dark Knight, don't have any defense. So by using Rosa leader skill, you can increase their defense some bit, but it's only a bit. And then if you really want to use her, you can master the 6th gate since she have 2 mementos. But then let's go through her ability set first. Well, she have 2 type of reaction skill can be used. This one is the 5th gate upgrade. It is original from HP drain. It drains the opponent HP within the range of 2, and it decreases the opponent pierce and jump resistance, so it's not so bad. And then for another reaction skill, this one is the Job Plus reaction skill. The property of counter attack, and she will have the berserk status. And during this berserk status, she have slash attack times 2 and death sentence plus 100%. Her normal attack will have the death sentence status. This reaction is quite good, but provided the opponent doesn't have any much death sentence resistance, since you cannot control her even though the attack increase. And then for the passive, I think these two will be the best for her. This one is the second second gate upgrades. It is original from the Dragon Clover passive, but instead of the jump attack only, it became a all attack up and add extra P attack. So it's good to master her second gate if you want to increase all of her attack. But this Dragon Clover main ability will be very useless. The sub ability you still can be used, of course. And for the master ability, it only increased the HP, speed and jewel gain. So nothing much, but her jewel gain and speed will be a lot. And for the main skill, well, she have two types of attack. One is the jump, one is the slash. So her drop plus is something like a Dark Cavalry and Dragon Cavalry combined together. And her last skill is also a jump attack. And very good thing is, this jump attack have the property of critical and this one, so that the overall damage will increase if critical. And then her critical is also not so bad actually. And for the side ability, this skill, for the next return, she will have the physical attack times 1.5 and critical rate up and move plus 2. So by increasing this critical rate up, she will have the more chance of dealing with the critical damage. And of course it also reduces her defense, but her defense original is not so high from the start, so it really doesn't matter that much. And for these two skills, it is also a jump attack. Some more have the property of critical, so the HP drain can be critical hit and the jewel drain. And of course you can switch this to this Dragon Clover sub ability for this Dragon Charge to increase her jump attack power for the next turn. So depending on the situation, you can use this sub ability as the choice to further increase the main attack skill. Like example, this last skill. Well, imagine if you're using jump 2.5 buff and with the help of the ally increase her P attack, you can start with the jump and the P attack, and her overall attack can be quite high if critical hit, and you can use 3 times, so it's very good against raid boss as well. And then for the mementos, well, if you master the 6 gate, these two will be the best, but of course, if you don't have mastered the 6 gate, you equip this as the main slot. It greatly increases her specs, especially this critical rate up, so that her critical rate will be increased a lot for the skill. And then this memento skill, this weapon, also very good for her. Not only increase the physical attack and speed, but it also increase the critical rate. And you can use the weapon ability, but this weapon ability only Rosa can be used, so beware. But this weapon everybody can equip for the Dark Knight. And then another gear is this one. This one is from the 4-star mementos, also very good. It increases the jump attack power and evasion. And the best is this weapon ability. It permanently increases her physical and dex. So these two gear will be the compulsory for her if you have the mementos everything, of course. And for the last gear, anything that's increasing her HP will be good enough, or HP reject armor, anything. Okay, so that's all about Rosa. Okay, next is this Kudan Shutai or Kudan. Anyway, his ranking is something like this. Okay, he have this unique job, and it is a job plus now, and Holy Brawler Shura enchant, and Dark Clover enchant. But most of the time you'll be using this job, but you can use this Holy Brawler Shura as well if you want to use the Holy Brawler skill. If not, most of the time you'll be using this job. And then for the Gaigan, well, for now he don't have 6 gate, so his overall status is this high. But if he have the 6 gate, the HP will be increased a lot, of course. And then for the leader skill, also quite good. It increases the physical attack 30% and all attack 20% and HP 20%. So his overall leader skill is 70%. He is also very good on the dark unit, but only applies to the physical attacker, of course. Okay, next is the ability set. For the passive, well, I think these two will be the best. One is the overdrive, and one is the second gate upgrades. Basically, it increases the physical attack and pierce attack. And then the counter lance will have the skill counter, but the combination chain attack will be -1, but it really doesn't matter that much. And then this reaction skill, well, it's a property of counter attack with penetrate effect. And then with the passive equip, you see the skill can be animated, but the range is only 2. And then for the ability set, as you can see, I'm equipping this Holy Brower Shura sub ability because of the charge time 5. So if you use this charge attack, all of his skill will have high damage, as well as his master ability. But if you are switching this sub ability with his original job ability, this sub ability also have the buff up, increase the physical attack, speed, critical, and accuracy up, and immune to drop down and stop status, and then he can survive any attack for the one time. But this skill you only can use one time, so it is really depending on the situation. If you want to increase his speed and the resistance against the stop, this one will be the better choice, but otherwise I think using the Holy Brower sub ability will be the best for him. And then this is the mementos and the gear. Well, he only have one memento, so this is the best for him. It is a 5-star mementos, but this mementos is also quite an old mementos. There's no BJ ability, but the overall status increase quite a lot. And for the leader skill also very good. It increase the physical attack 60%, really very high, and also increase the critical rate 20%, not bad, and go against the greed 40%, so the total damage will be 100%, and also have this light resistance 20%, but it doesn't increase the HP, so be careful. And then for the gear, this weapon gear is his weapon. Everybody can get this gear from the Sacred Scroll chapter, I think it's chapter 2, and the overall status increase so-so, but you can use the weapon ability, this one, only cooldown can be used, so by default you most of the time will be using this spear. And then this accessory is from his mementos, and this accessory only cooldown can be equipped, so it's a bit waste, but it greatly increase the speed and jump +1 and dark elemental +10 and initial jewel +10, so it's quite good. And this weapon ability also very good. It's an area attack, but it consumes his HP a lot. You can use the Shura charge time 5 after that using this skill with the massive damage. I think this weapon ability have the highest damage of all skill, followed by the weapon, and lastly this gear accessory. This one is from the gear summon. Well, this accessory is also for cooldown, even though everybody can equip actually, but only Kudan and Kuza can use this weapon ability, and then Kudan will have this weapon ability, so it's more or less is for cooldown, and the status increase not so bad actually. But this physical up 30 is a bit little. You see physical attack +30, after that you see the weapon is +40, so it's very funny why this accessory is plus physical attack 30. It's very weird. If this physical attack +60 or 70, maybe it's different story, but it's very useless for cooldown, seriously. But the rest is good for him. Of course, if you guys don't have this accessory, you can equip anything that's increasing his speed or HP will be good enough. Okay, next is this Bashini. Anyway, his ranking is something like this. Okay, he have this unique job and Twin Saber Enchant and Holy Brower Shura. So most of the time you'll be using this job, but you also can switch with this Holy Brower Shura if you want to use the skill of this job. And then his Kaigan, well, he don't have any set skate yet, so his overall status is this high, but the speed is super high. And for the leader skill, well, it increase a lot of HP, but the physical attack only increase 10%, and all defense increase 10%. So his leader skill is more for defensive than attacking. But if you want to increase his evasion or speed, it's good to max this gate, of course. Okay, then his ability. Since this job is not even the job plus, so there's not much changes for the skill. The reaction skill, this complete evasion is the best for him, but it's only limited to physical attack. And for the passive, this one is from the second gate upgrades, increase the evasion and physical attack. And then for this passive, well, it greatly increases the speed, but it reduces the jewel gain. So his normal attack jewel gain is really quite low, but the speed is really high. So if you equate this one to other passive, this one, you see the speed is really decreased a lot. So this is almost the compulsory passive to equip, but you need to do something about the jewel gain. And then for the skill, it's good to equip with the sub ability Shura, thanks to this charge time 5. So it's good good to use this ability and then use the main ability for the maximum attack, especially the last skill. When you master the 5th gate, it becomes an ignore defense and the skill usage increase. So it's very good to master his 5th gate. And most of his skill have the property of critical, but only this skill don't have the property of critical, but it increase the critical rate. So you can use this skill first. After that, you use the charge time 5 and use this skill to increase the critical rate. And then for the memento skill, well, since he have 2 mementos, one is this old mementos and one is the New Year mementos, but I don't have his New Year memento, so I will be equipping this one. Anyway, this mementos also quite good, you see, increase a lot of the status as well as 2 visual ability. And the leader skill actually not so bad. It good against the greed plus 60% as well as physical plus 30%. So the total attack against the greed will be 90% for the physical attacker, and you also increase the speed 5%. And then for the gear, well, this one is the free gear you can get from Sacred Stone event EX Quest. Well, even though the physical attack increase a bit and critical also a bit, but the speed actually not so bad, as well as you can use the weapon ability. And then if you have this gear, this is from his old mementos. Even though the status increase some bit, but the weapon ability is quite good for him. If you equipping his weapon and this armor, he will have the physical dex and speed up. So these 2 gear will be the compulsory to equip. And then if you have the New Year mementos gear, you can use the gear for the 3rd slot, but I'm equipping this one because it greatly increase the jewel gain, you see, plus 40, and also the jump plus 2. So even with the passive jewel gain down, by equipping this accessory, this jewel gain actually is not bad, but this accessory is one of the accessory you can get from the raid boss. I forgot which one. And of course, if you don't have this accessory, just equip anything that's increasing his jewel gain. Okay, next is this Golumalas. Well, his ranking is something like this. Anyway, his job is Pirate Job Plus and Dragon Cabra Enchant and Holy Brower Enchant. So most of the time you'll be using this job. And for the Kaigan, well, he don't have any 6 gate yet, so his overall status is this high. And then for the leader skill, also quite good. Increase the physical attack 30% and all attack 20% for the dark units, and also increase the HP. So if you want to use him, you can try to master this leader skill. And then for the ability set, well, he don't have any good reaction skill beside this one. Is from the 5th gate. It is the HP drain, and for the next 3 turns, he will have the physical and physical defense up, and the range is 3, so this reaction will be the best for him. And then these 2 passive I think also is the best for him, because this one is increasing the fire water resistance and speed up, and the 2nd gate passive is increasing the HP and physical attack. And then the master ability, well, there's no attack up passive, it's only initial jewel up and all elemental resistance up. So his elemental defense actually not bad. And for the skill, most of the time you are using this side ability of the Holy Brower, since you can charge time 3. But too bad it's not Holy Brower Shura, so it's only time 3. But he has some good skill, especially this skill. It's the 5th gate upgrade as well. He can attack very far away, and for the next 2 turns, his speed will increase. And for the 1 turn, move plus 1. And good against the marine unit. Then otherwise you can use this last skill. And this skill have the HP drain. And interesting about pirate is the pirate normal attack is a slash attack, but for the skill, it's a non-attribute attack. You see, non-attribute attack, and these 2 also a non-attribute attack. So you can fight against those enemies that have high slash resistance or any other resistance is very high. And then for the mementos, he have this 5-star mementos. So if you have these mementos, this one is the best for him. Increase the overall status a lot. And then if you don't have these mementos, you can switch with these mementos. This is a free mementos, and he will have this group skill, poison resistant and jewel regen. So jewel regen is also not bad, but the rest of the group skill will be useless for him. And then for the gear, this one is from the 5-star mementos of this one. Well, basically it's the best for him since it increases the attack and non-attribute attack plus 10%. And also you can use the weapon ability. And this weapon ability, all units can be used. It increases the all defense and dual regen. So this weapon ability is also very good, but only the pirate unit can be equipped, so beware. And then another gear is this one. This one is from the Don Taras from the chapter 2 main story, the black beard guy. Well, basically he can equip this. Only this Don and Golumalas can equip this accessory. Well, not really that bad, but the pro attack up will be useless for him, but at least increase the area resistance and speed. So this accessory is not really that compulsory. You just equip anything that's increasing his speed will good enough. And then for the last gear, this teddy bear, well, basically it increase all elemental resistance and then increase some HP and jewel gain. So that if you equip this accessory and then with this Nasser ability and with this passive, especially against fire and water, his elemental resistance is quite high. So it really depends how do you want to custom. You can change this gear into other gear like HP regen armor, anything. Okay, so that's all about him. Okay, next is this Noi. His ranking is something like this. Anyway, he have this unique job which is a job plus and samurai and warrior enchant. So most of the time you'll be using this, and his Kaigan I managed to max this much. So his overall status is super high, especially the speed and the attack and the HP. And then for his ability set, this reaction skill is very good. It is a property of first strike counter, and the opponent will have the paralyzed status for 3 turns. But you can change this reaction to this reaction from the warrior enchant. It is also a property of counter attack, but it's an area attack. But your ally will be getting the attack, so be careful. And then for the passive, well, this is the second gate master passive. It increases the bro attack, physical attack, speed, and reaction block elemental up. So it's a compulsory to equip this passive if you master the second gate. And then for the second passive, this one is a warrior passive. It increases the HP and physical attack. But if you want to greatly increase his physical attack, you can change into this samurai passive, this one. You see the attack increase a lot, but the speed and the HP will be decreased. So it's really depending on the situation, but best will be equipping this one, of course. And then for the skill, well, he have this charge down 5 from the 5th gate enhance. So basically he have the Holy Bravo Shura charge down 5, but there's no negative effect, and you can use 5 times, so very good. And then he have this moving attack with CT0, it's also quite good. And his main ability also nice, especially these 2 skills. This is an area attack, and this is a moving attack. Also have the 3 turn paralyze for the enemy, and it's 100% hit. So he has so much of a very good skill. And then for the Memento skill, he have only this one 5-star Memento skill, this one. Well, the overall good skill is okay, but this visual ability is a cheat. It's a super cheat. The more physical attack or magic attack he is, the more powerful this skill is. And if the opponent have the HP regen, the power greatly increase. Some more, if I'm not wrong, this visual ability jewel cost is only 15. Super cheap. And then for this gear, also very good. Also one of the best. Not only increase the HP, but the speed plus 12. And then with some resistance, and good thing is this weapon ability. Well, it's very good, especially this one. When his HP below 25%, he have the jewel regen and physical magic dex greatly up, then speed up. So basically, if his HP is less than this amount, he will become a killing machine. And then if you equip him with his free gear, this one, he will have permanent increase the HP, physical attack, physical defense, magic defense, dex and speed. And this is the free gear you can get from the Sacred Stone ES quest. The status increase is not so much, but the weapon ability is not so bad. And then with this gear, he will become very powerful. And lastly is this weapon gear. It increases the physical attack 50 and defense 50. So I guess this is the best for him. Otherwise, you also can equip this one. Also increase a lot of physical attack. And this gear have the weapon ability. So it's only depending which gear you want to equip. And then, even though his shards is hunt from extra mode, but he is not considered a limited unit. So any summon, you can summon him. Compared to Soul or Orion, those unit is a limited unit, but it's very hard to train thanks to the extra mode. But he's one of the unit that is worth to train, of course. Okay, next is this Dark Phantom Zai. Anyway, his ranking is something like this. Okay, he have this special Lord Commander job and Magic Knight Enchant and Dark Carburer Enchant. And of course you are using this job, it's very obvious. And the Kaigan, I managed to max this much and he don't have any 6 gate yet. So his overall status actually not bad. And the leader skill, it increase the HP, physical and magic attack, all defend 10%. So this leader skill is very good on those units that is depending on physical and magic attack. Example like Soul is depending on both attack. And then for the ration skill, it is a property of counter attack and it deals the opponent 50% of the maximum HP and the limit is 5k. After that, for the next 3 turns, his maximum HP increase and can be stacked 3 times. So this ration skill is very good against the red boss, but the rest of the ration skill is very weak, so you just equip this ration skill. And then for the passive, well, this one is the second gate master. It's basically from the overdrive passive, but it adds as well this skill usage +1. So all of his skill usage will be +1. And then this one is increasing his slash up and HP up. So I guess this 2 is the best. And then for this 2 skill, well, basically it's same as the normal Lord Commander skill, except for these 2 skill. If I remember, the normal Zine don't have this moving attack, and this skill is only for the Dark Phantom. It deals the maximum HP 15% and maximum damage is 30k. So this skill is basically for the red boss. And the rest of the skill is almost the same as the original Zine, the normal Zine, like Shining Flare becomes Shining Inferno or anything. And then for the Memento skill, well, since he don't have any 6 gate, so these Mementos will be the best for him. This is from the 3rd anniversary Mementos. It increases the magic attack and physical attack. But if you don't have these Mementos, you can equip this one as well. But the Strong versus the Dark will be useless since his skill attack is a Dark Elemental. So this one will be useless, but it increases a lot of speed and you can use this Vigil ability. And then if you don't have these 2 Mementos, you can equip with this one. This is a free Mementos for the Dark Phantom unit. Well, basically all of the group skill and vigil ability can be used. Well, it's all. And then for the gear, well, this Excalibur is a free weapon from the Sacred Zone. I guess this weapon will be the best for him since the weapon ability increase the Dark Zine, physical attack, magic attack and speed. So by equipping this Excalibur, his normal attack will be increased. And then for the other 2 gear, this one is from the Canon Mementos. Not only increase a lot of HP and initial jewel, but also have this jewel regen +5. So it's very good for him. And then for the last accessory, this is one of the Zine Mementos gear. Well, it greatly increases the speed and jewel gain and also have the slash up. But good thing is you can use the weapon ability. For the next turn, his physical attack and magic attack ×2. And I think you can use 2 times. So it's very good. And then if you don't have these 2 Mementos gear, you can equip with anything that's increasing his HP or speed will be good enough. And then this Zine is a limited unit, so I don't think a lot of people will have him. But compared to the normal Zine, he's much more powerful than the normal Zine. Okay, next is this Zaha. Well, his ranking is something like this. And for his job, he have this Dark Knight Job Plus and Dragon Carburer Enchant and Dark Carburer Enchant. But most of the time you will be using this one, of course. It's very obvious. And for the Kaigan, except for this leader skill, the rest I already find. And then this leader skill is not really that recommended, even though it increased the slash plus 30% all party and dark unit 20% all attack. So if you're using any dark unit with the slash, they will have the 50% attack up, but there's no HP up and it's only the 50% leader, so it's not really that strong. And then for his ability set, well, this HP drain +3 is the best. It's a 5th gate upgrade. It drains the opponent HP within the range of 2 and also drain the physical attack. So it's very good reaction skill for him because the other reaction skill is really very useless. Why there's no changes for this adventure? It's really crap. I've been wondering why there's no changes for the reaction skill of the Dark Knight. Seriously, it's really very weak. And for the passive, both of them is overdrive, and this 2nd gate passive upgrade, it greatly increases the physical attack. It's really a lot and also increase the speed. So it's very good and recommended to master his 2nd gate. It's a must, compulsory. And then another overdrive. The rest I think is out of option. And for the master ability, well, it's only increase the speed and the slash attack, nothing much. But at least this master ability is increasing the speed. His speed actually not really that high, despite of the physical attack a lot. And for the main ability skill, well, most of the skill ability have the changes, except for the first skill. All of the skill have the changes. And this last skill, even though the usage is only 1 and the jewel cost is 100, but the damage is really something wrong. Followed by this second skill. This second skill is also very high attack. And then for these two skill, it's a super big area attack, so it's good against those map there's a lot of enemy. And then this one increase the slash attack up, it's a Darkbringer. And for the side ability, these two skill also quite good. This is increase his overall attack, and this skill attack also increase. Compared to other Dark Coverer, this skill attack power actually is quite high. And then for the mementos, as you can see here have two mementos. This one is a very old mementos and this one is the latest new mementos. So if you master these two mementos, this new mementos is very good for the main slot because of the group skill is increasing a lot, as well as the BG ability, and this leader skill is super good. It increases the slash 40% and physical attack 30%, magic attack 30%. But provided you need to master these mementos. And then for the gear, well, this is a free gear you can get from the Bellota Chronicle. This sword will be the best for him. And this one is from the new mementos. Well, this accessory is a compulsory to equip for him since this weapon ability is really very good. He have these 3 weapon ability. This is when his HP below the 50%, he have the HP up and the HP cost will be 0. And this weapon ability is if you equip this accessory along with the sword, you have the permanent increased physical attack speed and all attack. It's really best for him. So with these 2 weapon ability, the Zaha overall attack will be increased quite a lot. And then for another gear, well, actually you can equip anything that's increased his HP or speed, but I'm using this one because not only increase the HP, but you also increase the single attack and good against the giant unit. So if you are fighting against the raid boss, this will be the best for him. Of course, if you don't have these 2 gear, just equip anything that's increasing his HP or speed. Okay, this is... Okay, this is the last dark unit I'm going to introduce, the Ultimate Soul, and his ranking is something like this. Anyway, he have this special job and it is a job plus, and Magic Knight Enchant and Assassin Enchant. So most of the time you'll be using this. And then for the Kaigan, well, I really maxed everything fine and his overall status is super high. Anyway, let's see his ability set. Well, he don't have any other good reaction skill beside this one. This is a property of counter attack with HP drain and with property of death sentence, and skill can be activated, but this skill will not activate within 1 and 2. It's only 3 and 4 range, so beware. And then for the other passive, this one is the second gate passive. Not only increase the all elemental defense, but it also have when he defeat any enemy, his shooting attack and magic attack will be increased and can be stat unlimited. So if you're using him to solo the map, after killing many enemies, his overall attack will be super high. And then another passive is greatly increase the physical and magic attack, as well as increase the maximum HP. So these 2 will be the best. And then for his skill, he have 2 types of skill. One is the shooting skill and one is the magic skill. But anyway, his magic attack is more stronger than the shooting attack. And then this magic skill is very good. For the next 5 turns, he will have physical and magic up and can be stacked 3 times. So after 3 times, his overall attack will be increased a lot. And then you can stack with this start ability, last skill. It permanently increases the all attack and can be stacked 3 times. So with this skill and the magic attack up, and then with this everything, I think his overall damage will be super high. And next is the mementos and the gear. Well, since he have 2 mementos, so by equipping these 2 will be the best for him, but beware, these 2 mementos is a limited mementos, so not everybody can get it. And this one is an old mementos and this is a new one. I will not go through the mementos since I already have his showcase. You guys can check it out from there. And then for the gear, this is the only gear, is a free gear. You can get from the Sacred Stone ES Quest. The magic attack attack and the physical attack only increase 30, and the debuff resistance is only 20%. So it's not really that good, but you can use the master ability, this one. So this gear is only for weapon ability. But then, if you have this gear, this is from the new Memento gear. Well, if you equipping with the free gear with this accessory, you will have this magic attack and shooting attack up permanent. So you need to have this gear and this gear to maximize his attack. And then this one is from his own mementos. Well, it greatly increases the speed and also increase the shooting magic attack and accuracy. So this 3 will be the best for him. And for my opinion, he's a dog unit. That's all I can say. Okay, for those other dark unit that I already used before but I never introduced here, I will be quickly ranking them one by one. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's start from this Jin. His ranking is something like this. Anyway, he also have this Job Blast from the Omizu or Spy, and then he's very good at using this counter attack from the Warrior Enchant, but your ally will also getting the hit, so be careful. And for the Omizu Spy, this attack is really quite high. Okay, next is this Aluberu. Her ranking is something like this. Anyway, she is a shooting unit, but as you can see, she don't have any Job Blast, but she have the mementos everything. So one fight day, she will have the Job Blast. We just need to wait for her Job Blast. Okay, next is this Mia. Her ranking is something like this. Anyway, she have this Sage Job Blast and she is a 4-star unit. So as a 4-star unit, this spec actually not so bad, and she also have the mementos everything. Okay, next is this Teresa. Anyway, her ranking is something like this. And she have this Berserker job, which is also very powerful. And the more your ally have died, the more powerful she will become. And then with the skill, she will become a tank, but you need to reduce her speed so that it will not easily get into her next turn. Okay, next is this Bellota. Her ranking is something like this. Anyway, she is a limited unit with a Job Blast and 2 mementos, but she's very hard to train. Even though she may look powerful, I'm not so sure, I seldom use her. Okay, next is this Bilugita. Anyway, her ranking is something like this. And then she's a limited unit with this 1 Beast Tamer Job Blast, and then it's very hard to train her, even though she have this Job Blast and the free mementos. But compared to the Soul or other unit, she's not the top priority to get and train. But if you manage to get her, you can train her if you want to. Okay, next is this Ikasa. Her ranking is something like this. Anyway, she have this unique job, and even though her HP and attack actually not bad, but she is quite hard to use thanks to the main job. But her skill animation is one of the best. Okay, next is this Ambrosia. Her ranking is something like this. Well, she is a Genesis unit and she is a magician, and then his overall attack actually quite high, and she have this Summoner Enchant, which can reduce the opponent elemental defense, and she also have this Chromancer to increase your ally speed. And next is this Meliodas. His ranking is something like this. Well, he is from the 7 Deadly Sin Collaboration unit, which is also a limited unit, but he is one of the very powerful dark unit, and his overall status is also quite high, and he also have the Charge Time 4 skill. Okay, next is this Field Knot. Anyway, her ranking is something like this. Well, she is a Phantom Kill Collaboration unit, and then right now he don't have any Kaigan, so her maximum level is only 85. But then without any Kaigan, she's actually quite powerful. She is a shooter unit, but unlike other shooter unit, her shooting range is not really that far, but her attack is really very high. Okay, next is this Narrow. Her ranking is something like this. Anyway, she is a limited unit as well, and then my Kaigan is only this much, so her HP is not so high, but if you max this first, 4th and 6th gate, her HP actually quite high, as well as her defense, also not bad, and she's one of the very powerful magician in that unit. Okay, some of the other dark unit that I didn't train also very good is Merlin and Puzza. I think that's all. And then the other dark unit that I don't have is this Dark Crowray, also not bad. And this Lulanis from the Brave Frontier, she's a limited unit as well. And this Lakina also not so bad, but she's also a limited unit, so beware. And then there's one more guy I didn't mention is Ledo. Now this job is quite hard to use, so I never mentioned about him. But last time I used to use him, and then nothing much. And for the next crush chain unit is this Grants for the next month, so better get her shards. I already maxed this much, and I still have 800 shards, so it's easy to max her with the 6 gate as well. But anyway, need to wait for her crush chain next month, and I can predict she have a new mementos 5-star and so and so. I'll be looking forward for her crush change. So that's all about the dark unit rankings. Thank you for watching this video. If you guys got any question about the ranking that I give, you can just comment, or maybe this guy is weaker or this guy is stronger. You can comment anything. Please subscribe and thumbs up if you like this video. See ya. Sayonara.